Okay, y'all. So I said I would do a comparison video between my Willow Go and the 3.0. I have a set of both, but I did share that I prefer the Go for several reasons. So I'll just get started. Um, Obviously, there are some very clear differences from start. I think when I take them apart, it kind of be a little bit more clear. So for those that don't have the 3.0, this is the actual pump. It comes apart like this. This is a reusable container. There's something for bags. And this is how the rest of the parts break down. So we have this part back here. We have this part up here. And then you would twist this and press it to unlock it. And that is to remove the, let me straighten it out real quick if I can get that together, to remove the actual flange from the reusable container. So these are the parts for the Go. For the 3.0. And it just kind of goes back together really quickly, really easily. Your storage and suction settings are kind of at the top, and how that kind of works in terms of how the milk stays in the pump. So that's something that can be explained in the comment section a little bit later. And then you would just take your pump unit, snap it in there, and then you press the power button and you would get started. The Willow Go is actually very different. This is the flange. The flange comes off. This is that comes off. And then you would press these two buttons on the side and it actually releases your container. And then you just separate this and there's your duck bill. And so these are all of the pieces for the Go. There's one more, the diaphragm right there. That's it. These are all the pieces for the Go, and this is the actual pump itself. So all of this gets washed, these bigger pieces, and then you just toss the pump on the charger. And so you should see very quickly how easily these are to put together. Both of them are fairly easy to put together. Not an issue there with either one. I do prefer the Go's pieces because they're a lot bigger and a lot easier to keep up with when it comes to sanitizing or whatnot. And so there we go. That's the Go. Okay, so the main difference for me is the suction pattern. The suction pattern is a humongous deal for me. I did a lot of research to find out what the suction patterns are. With the Willow 3, you actually have to make an adjustment to the suction pattern because it's not the natural suction that you would get the baby is nursing versus the Go, which I thought was interesting. They put a new pump out and they made this the more natural suction pattern. This suction pattern is completely different. It's just continuous suction. You have to go through an adjustment. So if you're someone like me who doesn't want to go through that adjustment phase, the Go has been kind of like this dream for me, which has had me more so sitting the 3.0 to the side. The sound, I'll do a sound comparison for you too, just so you can hear it. The reality is no pump is completely quiet, but I don't think either sound is just completely noisy. Take it with a grain of salt though. I'm also hard of hearing. I do wear hearing aids. So, but my husband says he doesn't necessarily hear it when the house is going on or if we're in the car driving. It's not something people just notice right away. So here is the sound for and it's probably not going to do it too many more times. Okay. And here is for the Go. Okay, so I will tell you that my husband did say that the Go is a lot quieter than the 3. And then I will also say that when I'm pumping, the Go feels a lot gentler than the 3. I don't know why. They're both 21 millimeter flanges. It just feels a little bit different. Also, when you insert it in your shirt, the Go is just a tad bit sleeker. These are heavy units. In my mind, they weigh about the same. Don't quote me on that. And then the bulkiness in my bra is about the same. I am a 36 triple D. I look like I've had like the worst botched boob job in the world when they're in there. So I don't think any one of them is just made to look completely natural. But if you look at them, you know, side by side, there is a humongous difference in terms of how they come out and fit into your bra. My love for the Go though is just the simplicity of it. So all of your controls are across the top. You have a power button on this side. You can actually change the mode with the mode button. And then by clicking up or down, you can change the expression, stimulation, kind of rate the suction on it. And you know, how heavy the suction is. That's it for that. The only downfall to this is that you cannot bend over. Like, don't bend over to grab the baby. Don't drop a towel unless you plan on doing a deep squat. That is the only drawback for the Go, and that's because the container part where you empty the container is right up here. There's no lid for it or no cover for it. I will also add this one bonus feature, and I need to find something flat so I can demonstrate this to you. I have a book. Okay. So the Go does something very unique that I especially adore. It has a resting position. So it's flat at the bottom and it can actually sit upright to rest. The 3.0 does not. And so it actually, when you want the 3.0 to rest, you actually try to, you know, lay it strategic ways, especially once you have to make sure your number 2 is set right there so you don't leak. But you can just sit this right down on something flat and bam, and go for it. So that was also the thing, is that when my hands got completely booked up or something with my kids, and I needed to sit these down like on the back of the counter where nobody could reach it, I could actually sit it down and I could come back to it once I completed doing what I was doing. Whereas this one just kind of rolls around a little bit. The apps are different as well. The 3.0's app actually gives you time elapsed and ounces. The Go's does not tell you the ounces. It does not quantify for you. It does, however, give you time elapsed in your expression mode on there. If you're not someone who cares about looking at the ounces on your screen, then, you know, the Go might be for you. If you absolutely need that marker, go for the 3.0. I will also caution that the ounces on the 3.0 are not that accurate. So, especially with the bag, when I pump with the bag, the ounces are like way off. When I pump with the reusable container, it's slightly off. I think the only downfall to that app is that they don't really allow you to go back and make those changes, if that makes sense. Like, I saw in an LV app that you can go and you can actually change it to be more accurate in your history. It doesn't allow that. The other thing is, I have not noticed a history feature for the app for the Go. I've kind of gone through the app a couple times. It really is just this simple feature that gives you your time. You can see the last pump session and how long that pump session was. And you can see what your expression mode was in this app. But it's just a very simple, straightforward app. And I feel like it goes with the pump. Like, it's just a very simple, straightforward unit. You know, it's not complicated or anything else of that sort. However, with the suction power and the pattern of it, I also enjoy kind of the resting part and things of that sort. I reach for this one 100% of the time. Matter of fact, I have gotten to the point where if I'm not reaching for this one, I'm actually grabbing my Medela, which is pretty bad. I just feel like the being able to sit to rest is a huge deal for me. The having that suction pattern that I don't have to make the adjustment to, it's another huge deal for me. Really being able to kind of go through and touch my modes and be able to see what I'm doing, another huge deal for me. So there are some big changes. I get about 4 25-minute pump sessions with this one before it dies. I get about 3 25-minute pump sessions with this one before it dies. I will do the full 25 minutes because I do want to try to be as empty as possible while I'm out and about. This one actually will empty me. I think it's because of the suction. This one will not empty me. It has never emptied me out. So these are the differences. You can see the units. They are by no means the same. I will say, just based on your preference, they're both really good units, but the Go, I'm telling you, it took them to come up with something a little less expensive and a lot simpler. But this right here is my buddy. I cannot tell you enough how much I adore the Go. So may sound kind of biased, but I have given them a fair shake each. I actually have had the 3.0 a lot longer than I've had the Go, and I've done a lot of time with this and just trying to make adjustments and changes. And I still wasn't getting the quantity that I get with the Go, even though when I started with the Go, I didn't have to do any of that. It was just find the flange size, turn the pump on, and go about your life. Again, Willow, both very good units. It's just going to come down to preference. What is important to you? If seeing your ounces on the screen is important, this might be your guy. If the section pattern is important, this might be your guy. If you like simplicity, big parts, little parts, they're both okay for that. This one does have a couple of smaller parts to keep up with. All these parts are completely ginormous. Totally up to however you feel. The charge time is about the same, 2 to 2.5 hours for a full charge. And then when I store them, I just have a little pump bag that I put them in. It's like a tote with a zipper on the top of it. And I leave my, ice packs and stuff in there too. So I get creative with that. But that's it. The Go, the 3.0. And if you have any more specific questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer them.